Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 22nd of July, and we're continuing this week's bet here after the DOC spread came in and the break at the ABM yellow, retraced back up to it, but then again on Friday continued to show weakness, even as we started to see a little bit of short-term buyer support here. But it happened as we were breaking zones of the red DOC and as well green, and that's problematic. Now we're at really almost a zero for shakeout, so it's worked out actually quite perfectly. We were waiting for the meeting of the Azure and gold at the same time. Once that happened, we had blue rising. So once they met together, boom, that was the warning sign that could be nearing the end of your excitement phase. And we never really could get past the zero level with the red DOC, and then finally, boom, it just started to break down below it, which means it's creating a reset, and we're not getting that big a drop-off here. All we are is at the ABM green. We've held that fairly decent with the short-term buyer move. No dip below the red line, so this isn't a liquidation or cascade event in any way, shape, or form. We just reached a peak, and we're right at those same algos that we've been talking about for, a week now. So that just shows you how important those actual numbers really became. Likewise, situation with the NQ, a little bit better shakeout reading than the NASDAQ, as well as a little bit more improved from its DOC reading, in the sense that you have orange almost dipping below red here to create a new setup. And this is that time of the month where you knew you were going to capture some weakness. Also, the euro pullback here. So this is that battle between the U.S. Fed wanting to drive the euro higher and the EU wanting to drive the euro lower. A little mixed combination. We are in a bit of a bicycle. We've had these rising red DOCs and that. So if it's going to catch some traction, it should. The problem is, you didn't get a dip below the orange line, which means that I think that we're probably still going to stay in the trading range, if not a little bit weaker. So treasuries are getting seriously inflated, given where things are, but this is a huge expectation of continued drop in rates. So we haven't seen anything happen yet, so there's been a lot of talk and nothing happening. Now you have more tensions in the Middle East, and you can see it's not impacting oil. The Iranians really would love to see oil prices jump. They're having trouble with the sanctions, and they really would like to see a nice spike to make up for the fact they could deliver less and get more for it. And it's not working out so well for them, even though they're seizing tankers and that. So we'll see if that's one of those that can escalate. It doesn't seem like Trump wants to escalate it into actual military conflict. He's turned back every time he's had the opportunity. So that bodes well for stability. So some people think that he's not going to do anything, which status quo, and they'll take it. So gold, a little bit of a pullback on that one. This is still strong, though. I mean, you get the weakness here with the steel crossing below. That's something we always look for. The question would be, do you have rollover of red? We don't have it yet, so not prepared to have that rollover just yet. From a 5K standpoint, we're just above that 3,005 that we had, for the last few days. And then every time we hit DOC right here, spread with the cyan moving above green as well as moving above red at the same time. The difference is you don't have the orange crossover at the same time, so it's a little bit delayed. The difference right here, you do have everything happening all together. The orange spikes. The green crosses below. The cyan is up above red. Steel dropping below. And the rollover of the red at the zero level. And that led to the more precipitous dip. Now you'll notice that we did not get a DOC steel reset, meaning it did not dip back below red to clear this. So when this buy signal comes in, you've got to be prepared that when that steel crosses back below, cyan is probably going to be the end of your run. It's just the way to work. I usually look for it because I'm looking for that crossover point to know that my upside is done. I can add into shorts if I'm still maintaining a short from before. This particular case, right at 50% was beautiful, and then boom, it led to the cascade where when it broke through, right went through the 88 right there, tried to stay right around it, and then back down to the 76, and then they tested a little bit below it. Just to see how much stop there was, and there was backstop there, so there was buying that took place right along that same 76. And we had a series of buy lines right there at that point going into right where we're at right now in the pre-market with positive shakeout and higher DOC red with the buy setup at what is now the 50%, and we got the falling highs. So the falling highs are going to, the Morganachi right here, price is going to want to meet that 100% line. So it'll be either precipitous decline, you can see that the decline rate is going to be, and or the price is going to match it. So a lot of times what will happen is price will move to the side or a little bit higher as that high comes down and meets it, but they will. It's just a matter of waiting for it to happen. As always, though, if anything significant pops up, I will certainly put it up there. I think that we had also the 50K traded out of the long that it was in, and rightfully so. You ended up with the DOC spread, wasn't able to hold, gave it an opportunity to base, but it didn't do it. Still setting up for decent configuration with the steel dip below, so potential for a new setup there. As always, though, I will update the Skype chat with any new details. Trade well. We'll talk again later.